What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a brand overview slash me talking about some of these fragrances. The house that's going to be mentioned is from Frederic Malle. There's about 19 fragrances in this video, so we're going to try to speed through them. They're over here on my left side, just kind of random. I'm just going to pick them out and not even looking at it, and we're just going to see what bottle comes on. We'll talk about that briefly, and then I'll kind of discuss how I feel about the fragrance, a few of the notes listed, but I don't have any like big note breakdowns to give today, because that video would be definitely over an hour long. So let's get this started. Currently my cats are outside the door here, so we're gonna try to speed it up because I know they're gonna want to come in any second. So first one I'm gonna grab is gonna be, oh wow, we started with the night, so we started with the most expensive fragrance in this collection, Perfumer's Dominique Ropion, as you can see, and this one was released in 2014. I believe it was the first desert gem in the collection. One of my favorite fragrances of all time. I don't really wear it all that often. I would say maybe 3-4 times a year, but I do smell the bottle. I used to smell it once a day, but just an addicting scent. If you love Portrait of a Lady, you would definitely like this. It's that same perfumer, obviously, but it is that same vibe as Portrait of a Lady, but instead of the patchouli, you have some nice real oud in there. Some people claim it does not smell like real oud, but oud can smell like 1,000 different things. So they say it's real, so we're gonna go with it's real. But really great fragrance. Almost, I guess I could consider it perfect, but it is very, very hefty in the price, and those prices just increased as well. I got this partial a couple years ago at this point. It was, a little bit higher than this, but that's more than enough to get me through. If I had an unlimited budget, I would definitely wear this all the time, but I reserve this for special occasions only. Not that it is a special occasion fragrance. You can definitely wear this every day if you'd like. That'd be a cool thing to see. And I just remembered I was supposed to start off with these minis that I have. So I have these minis right in front of me. These are the only ones that I don't own in this video, but I do own these 3 milliliter or 7 milliliter minis. Pretty cool. This is Monsur, and this one is definitely on my list. This one's just a deep, rich medicinal patchouli. Reminds me of just a very spicy patchouli that you feel like if you got stabbed in the woods or cut in the woods, and you ran into a tribe who knew ancient medicine, this is the potion they would just pour on you, and you would hope it works. It's just very distinct smell. A lot of people don't like it. I personally love it. This is a perfect fall fragrance. I wear it. I dab myself with this to sleep all the time. It's just very therapeutic to me, but it is patchouli. If you are not a patchouli fan, you probably won't like this at all, but if you are, and if you have not tried this, try it out. It's 50% patchouli or more in the concentration, so just a heavy dose of that. And then you got Bruno Jovanovic as the perfumer on this one. Continuing on with the minis, we have Olivia Jacobetti, and this is En Passant. Beautiful lilac scent. I think en passant means in passing or walking through, kind of roughly translates to that, and that's kind of the smell you get here. Did I say lily or lilac? This is a lilac perfume. Beautiful, dewy, airy, light, and just a pretty, pretty fragrance. Beautiful in the springtime and the summer. And if you just want something light, but also, there's my cat in the back. If you can see, she wants to come in. Just a very beautiful fragrance. Next mini on the let me bring her in real quick. Next mini is gonna be this. This is Eau de Magnolia by Carlos Benaim. I think I got this as a surprise gift from a friend whenever I bought one of his bottles. And this one is a little strange. Not my favorite in the house, but I do appreciate it. Can't really comment on it much since I haven't really experienced it from a bottle standpoint. It's mainly just been the dabber. But I do appreciate it. It is very nice and summer focused. And that's all pretty much I can say about that one. Next, this is the Dries Van Noten collaboration with Frederic Malle. Frederic Malle did a couple collaborations throughout the years with some other people, like Albert Elbaz with Superstitious. I think there was Outrageous is another one, and then Sal Goss. I don't know. I think that was a collaboration as well. I'm not 100%. But this one is shamefully discontinued. I got a super low partial of this a couple years ago. It's completely gone now. Almost dried out. You can see maybe 1 or 2 drops in there. So occasionally I will pull this cap out and smell it. It's just a very nice, creamy, kind of bright sandalwood. You do get a little bit of orange at the top in this one, and cinnamon, and I think nutmeg. Just a beautiful fall fragrance. I wish they would bring it back at somehow, but I'm sure there's a copyright on this formula. But you never know. Maybe in a couple years, someone will buy it, or the original perfume will recreate it, kind of how Bat from Zoologist got discontinued, and then the original perfumer released it again. What's that brand? I'll remember it at some point, but that's 5 fragrances so far. We have quite a bit to go. We got 14 to go. Next, we're gonna pick another classic. This was part of the original release in 2000s. This is Maurice Roussel's Musk Rouge. I've gone through, well, this is my first bottle, but I did buy a backup bottle years ago, got lost in the mail. Then I bought a third bottle, and I had that one for a bit as a backup, but then I sold it off to a friend who loved it. He used that pretty quickly within a year and a half, and then I just sourced a 100 ml bottle for him for a really good deal. So he loves that fragrance. I love this fragrance. This, along with Vanilla Van, filled my craving for like a musky, spicy, vanillic fragrance. And I got rid of Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford and just kind of stuck with this, and I have not regretted it. I think this is way more complex compared to that. Even the modern versions, although it is more gourmand, I would say, compared to the original release of this, which unfortunately I did not try. Supposedly that one was more animalic and dirty, but this one's just a very clean fragrance. I wear this in the heat all the time. I wear this to work all the time. No complaints. I mean, you can't really hate Musk Rouge. Some people said it smells like those urinal cakes in the bathrooms. But my mind does not go there at all, so lucky for me, I guess. But Musk Rouge, cannot recommend this enough. Beautiful fall staple, winter staple, and just something to definitely have in your collection, a must have. And can be found cheap-ish nowadays. Considering that they're being more mass produced by Estee Lauder, and you can also find them at Costco, especially if you're in the US. You can find a bottle under 180 USD or even like 160 if you wait for the right moment. Next up is another Carlos Benaim creation, and this was Music for a While. Just to preface, all of these fragrances, they're all 50 mils, and the majority of them I got them when they were full. Currently this one is, I don't know, maybe 40 mils left, and that's kind of just to gauge on how much I use these. I definitely love this one. This is a lavender, pineapple, patchouli bomb that's very obnoxious and loud and sticky, but I absolutely love this. It does take some getting used to. If you actually, I guarantee you haven't smelled anything like this. It is very strange. It is otherworldly. It's just a strange concoction. You couldn't even really figure out what this would smell like looking at the name either, because I don't know, those don't even match up, to be honest. But beautiful fragrance. I love this thing. Performs well in the heat. I wear this to work all the time. This does linger around. It is loud, like I said. So if you are going to wear this Music for a While, you better be confident in what you're wearing, because it could come off just as a weird stench from you. And if you're not walking confidently, they're just going to think you smell bad or weird, or but if you're standing tall, this is definitely a statement piece, and this is Music for a While. Definitely underappreciated. I think it's coming around now. People are starting to like it, especially as your nose develops, but this is a more complex fragrance compared to some of the others in the collection. Oh, next we have a big hitter here. This is The Moon. Perfumer is Julian Rasquinet, who just collaborated with the Dries Van Noten line, so I'm excited to check that out at some point. And he collaborated with Paul Guerlain, so they created a collaboration for the Dries line. But this is The Moon. I bought this new as well as a gift to myself a couple years ago, and I've used quite a bit. I am really fond of this fragrance. At least I used to wear it quite a bit. Every time I would go clubbing or out for a night, this would be my statement piece, and I would always put a couple sprays of The Moon on just so I could stand out, and this just kind of made me feel confident. Although I did not enjoy smelling this the next morning, waking up with a hangover. It was just still very, very loud on my clothes. It lasts on clothes for weeks, months, even with some washes. It's that strong. And this is, if you don't know about what this is a raspberry, I think there's lychee in here, lychee fruit, oud bomb that's just loud, smoky, incensey, and just interesting fragrance. Beautiful composition. Putting my nose at it now, you either think this smells amazing or you think it smells cheaply made. There's really no in between. But once you put it on and you experience it, you can kind of get the quality from there. But smelling it from this sprayer here, it smells like those cheap car scents that you kind of just hang. But wearing this out and about, you'll notice the complexities of this. Julian Rasquinet, master perfumer in the making. He's always putting out great stuff. And protege of Pierre Bourdon. Ooh, we have another favorite of mine here. This one's Geranium Monsur. I got this as a partial for a really good deal from a friend, and this is a incredible fragrance. Very light, super minty. Got a lot of geranium, a lot of rose, and just mint, mint, mint. If you like that menthol-like or toothpaste vibe, this would be a fragrance for you. That mint note just kind of blends so well with everything else that's in the fragrance. It's very fresh, floral, spring garden, but masculine, you know, because this is a Pour Monsieur, quote unquote. I mean, it's in the name, but this is a masculine floral fragrance. Does not go into the I don't even know if you would consider this a fougere at all, but that mint note just does bring it up a bit to kind of add some masculine characteristics, if you want to say that, to the fragrance. But beautiful stuff. Very sounds simple, but it's kind of complex when you're wearing it, which I enjoy. It's just very fun, and the way it kind of creeps in and out of throughout the day. It's a fun fragrance for all times of the year, to be honest. This is an all year pickup or wear to me. I don't mind putting this on for any occasion either. So good all around fragrance here. Geranium Monsur. I think that's one of the ones that Frederic Malle himself uses on the daily, or he used to use that on the daily. And I agree, it's a good one. Next we have Lipstick Rose by Ralph Schweiger. And this is a beautiful violet rose fragrance. I feel like this inspired Misia by Chanel. Just similar in not in construction, but just in the notes. But this is way more matted out. It's way more pastel-like. A little cakey, I would say. But I like wearing this as a man, as a guy. If you have not tried this yet, I suggest trying it, see how you feel about it. I think it's pretty unisex. If you like iris and if you like just creamy fragrances, definitely check this out. Don't let the name fool you. But this is a Lipstick Rose. I do like wearing this. So that is Lipstick Rose there. Next, we're gonna go with Rose and Queer. This is another favorite of mine. The label's kind of worn out there, but this is from Jean Claude, and this is Rose and Queer. This is another masculine garden green fragrance. You know, there's a lot of green fragrances in this collection, which I think we still have a few left coming up. But this is so gorgeous to me. I love spicy fragrances, and this does spice really well. This does the rose really well, which is strange because there's technically no rose in here. It's an accord of, I think, geranium and something else. Technically, I don't think there's any leather either, and some people were upset about that. This would have been a nice fragrance if it actually was leather-like, but I don't get any leather at all. But if you just like spicy rose fragrances, this would be a good one to have. and a good counterpart to Portrait of a Lady, which I mean is masculine in itself, but if the name throws you off, do this one, Rose and Queer, Rose and Leather. Just a beautiful fragrance to me. Alright, next we have another favorite. This one's so classic. I think this is actually part of the classic line from 2000, if I'm not mistaken. But this is Noir Épice, translates to black spices. And this is from Michel Rudnitska. And this is very, very complex, which is amazing. I don't know what year this bottle's from, but every time I wear this is a different experience, and I always forget how good it is because no one really talks about it. But this is a classic Malle. If you haven't got into the line and you kind of want to see why the brand got its name and how this came to be, I definitely would put this up there right next to Portrait of a Lady, right next to Musk Rouge, and I'm trying to think of another one that would kind of fit the classics line from here. But beautiful fragrance, beautiful composition, very complex. You got orange in there, you got a bunch of spices. I don't know all the spices off the top of my head, but I know there's a bunch. There's a little bit of floral in the mid that's just blended so perfectly, so you don't really think about it. It's just kind of there. Ooh. Next we have Portrait of a Lady, Dominique Ropion. Ropion has created a bunch of Malles that if you haven't noticed already, but this is Portrait of a Lady, a classic again. If you have not got your nose on this, do it. Your life will change. You will look at everything differently. This will be a gateway drug into all things niche per se. We got rose, you got patchouli, you got what else is in here? I can't remember. You got incense. Put a few sprays on and you will get a comment or a compliment. 9 times out of 10 it was a compliment. People love this. They will stop you. They will stop what you're doing, and they will kind of ask you what you're wearing. It happened to me so many times with this. You can smell this in the air. It's very distinctive, kind of how when someone's wearing Santal 33, you kind of know when someone's wearing Opium, when someone's wearing Angel, or any of those big hitter fragrances. This is another one of those, especially if you're experienced in this type of niche line, or if you're in the fragrance game, you should know what Portrait of a Lady smells like at this point. And if you don't, get a sample or decant. They're very easy to come by and not expensive at all. A little bit will go a long way with this fragrance. It projects and lasts forever, and it's pretty complex and nice. It does have some levels that change throughout the wearing. And that's enough about Portrait of a Lady. Next is Iris Pure from Pierre Bourdon. Another fragrance from the original line, I believe. Also, I did not fact check this. I think these are just thoughts that are popping into my head, which I'm pretty sure are true, but if I'm not, please correct me. But this is Iris Pure, powdery iris, as the name suggests. And this is, I would say, feminine leaning, but I do enjoy wearing this a lot. I really like it. I got this a couple years ago. I wear it here and there. But I will tell you that there's a bunch of ladies who have smelled this just from the bottle. Like my mom loved this. A couple of other girls have loved this just by smelling the bottle. and they kind of want to steal it for themselves. So if you are looking for a gift for your significant other, I guess this would be a good one to do. This is Iris Pudre, beautiful name, classic perfumer, and it will definitely stand out as it is a gorgeous fragrance, and I'm sure they will enjoy that. Alright, let's speed it up here. We have another Dominique Ropion floral. This is Un Fleur de Cassis. This is another one of those strange fragrances, kind of like Music for a While. Just an all-around weird, complex fragrance that you kind of need to be ready for. You don't just jump into something like this and like it. You have to try it slowly. You have to try a bunch of other fragrances before you can level up to something like this. This has cassie flower. You have some, I think carnation is in here. You have just a bunch of weird florals in here, in my opinion, and this is very masculine. If you are a guy and are scared of florals, definitely try this out. This one's dirty, this one's dry. You have that. If you like vetiver, this would be for you. And I'm not saying that this has vetiver, but this does have that quality of this dry, floral, hay-like texture that is very beautiful. And there's something carnal about this one as well. Speaking of, I don't have carnal flower anymore. That's the only mall that I've had in my collection that I've sold. It was weird. I loved it forever, and I would wear it all the time. And then one day I kind of just flipped, and I never wore carnal flower again, and I just sold it off. And I think the reason was, I think I started wearing Music for a While more than that fragrance, and I sold it off. Or maybe it was Geranium Monsur, and then I sold off carnal flower. I really don't remember, but it is what it is. Not that there's anything wrong with carnal flower, that one's amazing too, but for some reason I kind of just switched and I didn't like it anymore. This is Promise from Dominique Ropion, and this is incredible. I'm gonna try to speed it up here, but gorgeous fragrance. Might be top 3 of the brand, to be honest. Just a very polarizing fragrance. Either you love it or you hate it. If you love it, you really, really love it, and if you hate it, you never want to see or smell this ever in your life. But this just got cypriol oil. You got some synthetic oud oil in here, and just a intoxicating fragrance, lasts forever. This is a really good deal in my opinion. This is also the cheapest fragrance in the Desert Gems collection. So, and that's because there's synthetics in here. But honestly, this might be the best part of the Desert Gems collection. It's that good. I highly enjoy this, and that's me saying that. And I own the Moon and the Night. I do need to purchase Dawn and Hope at some point. But Promise is definitely highly recommended by me. Like I said, best deal out of the whole brand, in my opinion. Just very beautiful fragrance. And even if you don't want to buy one of those, just buy a decant. It'll last you forever as well, or test it out first. Next we have Synthetic Jungle by Anne Filippo. I don't know why it's not focusing on this bottle here. But this is Synthetic Jungle by Anne Filippo. And this is, I made a full review on this one a couple years ago when it came out. Love this fragrance. Very dirty as well, similar to Un Fleur de Cassis as far as masculine greenish fragrances. This just got rebranded to Synthetic Nature, I believe, but this was an OG bottle that I bought on launch day, and I used I used almost half of it pretty quickly, and I told myself I need to calm down. But I guess I used to like it a lot. I used to wear this almost every other day. I don't mind this as an everyday scent. It's really beautiful and complex enough for me not to get bored of it while I'm wearing it throughout the day. So it does change. It is a journey. In my review, I compared this to, walking through a jungle, getting hit in the face with some dense leaves, you chopping them, some of those juices kind of falling on you, and you keep going and going, you're sweating, and then eventually you get to your destination, and it's calm, it's flat, you're laying down, you're enjoying some sun, and you get this nice creamy base, if I remember correctly. Just fun journey on that one, on Synthetic Jungle. Alright, we got two more, and I'm pretty sure I know what the last one is, considering what I have in my collection. We're saving the best for last, and that's so this one is French Lover by Pierre Bourdon. This one is a nice galbanum fragrance, very green, very dry, very woody as well. And the original name for this one was Bois de Rage, or not original, but I think from what they sold overseas, it was Bois de Rage, which I think was in the middle of the storm or storm woods or something along those lines. But this is just a very damp forest-like fragrance, beautiful for fall, winter. I absolutely enjoy this. I adore this. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it does not last, more than 3 hours in my opinion, but that is what it is. My battery's running super low, so we're gonna save the best for last, and this was not on purpose. This is Uncut Gem, Rich Mitch's favorite, Frederic Malle. And I was playing around by saving the best for last, but I just thought it was pretty funny that this happened to be like that. I made a video on this when it came out. I bought it launch day as well, and I used to hate it. I was very disappointed in it, compared seeing as all of the things that they mentioned about it in the blurbs and in the words. But this is Maurice Roussel's follow-up to, or this is Maurice Roussel's third fragrance for Malle. First was Musk Rouge, and then second was forgot the name of the other one. But then you have Uncut Gem is the third one. Like I said, I bought this new and I went through it pretty quickly. There's, I guess, half of that left, so I must like this fragrance. I did change my mind about it. I have fun with it, I guess, now. It's not as complex and exciting as some of the originals like Noir Peace or Portrait of a Lady, but it is fun. It is I don't know, overpriced for sure. Still, I still think it's overpriced, but it is a good introduction for people who are not used to niche. I feel like this was made to satisfy that market and to reel them into more into this line, to get them introduced to niche fragrances, and then that'll in turn output more for the brand. If I were to choose my top 3 favorites, or top 5 favorites at the moment, it would definitely be Promise. Kind of enjoying that a lot right now. Noir Peace I wore the other day, always a good time. Rose and Queer, I'd say, would be my other favorite at the moment, and I want to say Music for a While will be up there as well. And this is gonna be hard because I could go for another desert gem. I could pick the Moon easily, or the Night, but let's make this fair for everyone and something more accessible. Portrait of a Lady. These are my top 5 must-try malls. Music for a While, Rose and Queer, Promise, Noir Peace, and Portrait of a Lady. So there you are, guys. Highly enjoy this brand. I have not tried the last 2 creations from them, unfortunately. Heaven Can Wait and whatever the other one was. I don't recall at all, but that is that. I'll talk to you guys on the next one.